16. Just typed it. Wow. Just took my braids out. 16th. John 18:1 to 18. After saying these things, Jesus crossed the Kidron Valley with the disciples and entered a grove of olive trees. Judas the betrayer knew this place because Jesus had gone there many times with his disciples. The leading Pharisees priests and Pharisees had given Judas a battalion of Roman soldiers and temple guards to accompany him. Now, with blazing torches, lanterns, and weapons, they arrived at the olive grove. Jesus fully realized all that was going to happen to him. Stepping forward to meet, he asked, "Whom are you looking for?" "Jesus of Nazareth," they replied. "I am he," Jesus said. Judas was standing there with them when Jesus identified himself. And he said, and as he said, "I am he," they all fell backwards to the ground. Once more, he asked them, "Whom are you searching for?" Again, they replied, "Jesus of Nazareth." "I told you I am he," Jesus said, "and since I am the one you want, let these others go." He did this to fulfill his own statement. "I have not lost a single one of those you gave me." Then Simon Peter drew a sword from and slashed off the right ear of Malchus, the high priest's servant. But Jesus said to Peter, "Put your sword back in its sheath. Shall I not drink from the cup the Father has given me?" So the soldiers and their commanding officers, and the temple guards arrested Jesus and tied him up. First they took him to Ananias, the father-in-law of Cappius, the high priest that year. Cappius was the one who had told the Jewish leaders better that one should die for all. Simon Peter followed behind, as did another of the disciples. That other disciple was acquainted with the high priest, so he was allowed to enter the courtyard with Jesus. Peter stood outside the gate. Then the other disciple spoke to a woman watching at the gate, and she let Peter in. The woman asked Peter, "Aren't you one of Jesus' disciples?" "No," he said, "I am not." The guards and the household servants were standing around a charcoal fire they had made because it was cold. And Peter stood there with them, warming himself. That was the first time Peter denied Jesus. 2 Chronicles 26. The people of Judah then crowned Amaziah, 16-year-old son Uzziah, as their next king. After his father's death, Uzziah rebuilt the town of Elath and restored it to Judah. Uzziah was 16 when he became king and reigned Judah for 52 years. His mother was Jecoliah from Jerusalem. He did what was pleasing in the Lord's sight, just as his father Amaziah had done. Uzziah sought God during the days of Zechariah, who instructed him in the fear of God. And as long as the king sought the Lord, God gave him his success. He declared war on the Philistines and broke down the walls of Gath, Jebna, and Ashdod. Ashdod. Then he built new towns in Ashdod area and other parts of Philistia. God helped him not only with his wars against the Philistines, but in his battles against the Arabs of Gur and his wars with the Mennonites. Good morning. How y'all doing this beautiful morning?
How y'all doing? I said it's warmer out here than I thought.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's beautiful. It's beautiful though.
Hey, Max, what's up?
Go get him.
There goes Max. Hey, what's up, Max?
Max ain't supposed to be here.
I see.
It's my day. They ain't come pick him up.
I see, Max. They didn't come and get him. Your mom talking about her knee was hurt.
Yeah, her ass walking around the Sam's Club every damn day, going to Sam's Club. I said, you gonna go to Sam's Club, they owe you some money. You work there.
Yeah, she talking about because our knees bothering us too. We keep on going.
But she on her way to come here to take me to Mark's. Want to go to Mark's now, though.
Oh, she want to go to Mark?
That's what I'm saying. Can't keep her down.
Yeah, she got to do something.
I know. But then that's gonna cost.
You know you can't keep us down.
It's gonna cost me money.
I know. I put some of that rubbing compound on my knees. Come on. I'm ready.
Y'all have a good walk. I'll see y'all in a bit.
It's supposed to be 80 today.
Well, that's good. We ain't getting too many more 80s.
They said probably next 5-6 days. Then we get down to 60.
Hey, man, the 20th is the first day of fall, bro. Apologize. Where was I at? Uzziah. Oh. He declared war on the Philistines and broke down the walls of Gath, Gabni, and Ashdod. He built new towns in the Ashdod area and the other parts of Philistia. God helped him not only with his wars against the Philistines, but in his battles against the Arabs of Gur, and in the wars with the Mennonites. The Mennonites paid annual tribute to him, and his fame spread even to Egypt, for he had become very powerful. Uzzah built fortified towers in Jerusalem at the corner gates, and at the valley gate, and at the angle in the wall. He also constructed forts in the wilderness and dug many water cisterns, because he kept great herds of livestock in the foothills of Judah and on the plains. He was also a man who loved the soil. He had many workers who cared for his farms and vineyards, both on the hillsides and in the fertile valleys. Uzziah had an army of well-trained warriors ready to march into battle unit by unit. This great army of fighting men had mustered and organized by Jael, the secretary of the army, and his assistant, Maaseiah. They were under the instructions of Hananiah, one of the king's officials. 2,600 clan leaders commanded these regiments of seasoned warriors. The army consisted of 375,000 men, all elite troops. They were prepared to assist the king against any enemy. Uzziah provided the entire army with shields, spears, helmets, coats of mail, bows, and sling stones, and he produced machines mounted on the walls of Jerusalem designed by brilliant men to shoot arrows and hurl stones from the towers and from the corners of the wall. His fame spread far and wide, for the Lord helped him wonderfully until he became very powerful. But when he had become powerful, he also became proud, which led to his downfall. He sinned against the Lord and his God by entering the sanctuary of the Lord and personally burning incense on the altar. Azariah the high priest went in after him with 80 other priests of the Lord, all brave men. They confronted King Uzziah and said, "It is not for you, Uzziah, to burn the incense to the Lord. That is the work of the priests alone, the sons of Aaron, who are set apart for this work. Get out of the sanctuary, for you have sinned. The Lord God will not honor you for this. Uzziah was furious and refused to set down the incense burner he was holding. But as he was standing there with the priests before the incense in the Lord's temple, leprosy suddenly broke out on his forehead. When Araziah and the other priests saw the leprosy, they rushed him out, and the king himself was eager to get out because the Lord had struck him. So King Uzziah had leprosy until the day he died. He lived in isolation, excluded from the temple of the Lord. His son Jotham was put in charge of the royal palace and governed the people of the land. The rest of the events of Uzziah's reign from the beginning to the end are recorded in the prophet Isaiah's son of Amoz. So Uzziah died, and since he had leprosy, he was buried in a nearby field belonging to the kings. Then his son, Jotham, became the next king. Whew, that was deep. Psalms 83 to end today. Psalms 83. Psalms 83. Psalms 83. Oh God, don't sit idle by, silent and inactive. Don't you hear the torment of your enemies? Don't you see what your arrogant enemies are doing? They devise crafty schemes against your people, laying plans against your precious ones. Come, they say, let us wipe out Israel as a nation. We would destroy the very memory of its existence. This was their unanimous decision. They signed a treaty as allies against you. These Edomites, these Ishmaelites, the Moabites, the Hagarites, the Gergarites, the Ammonites, and the Amalekites, and the people from Philistia and Tyre. Assyria has joined them too, and is allied with descendants of Lot. Do you do to them as you did to the Midianites, or as you did to Sisera and Jablon at the Kishon River? They were destroyed at Endor, and their decaying corpses fertilized their soil. Let their mighty nobles die as Oreb and Zeb did. Let their princes die like Zeblah and Zalmunna, for they said, let us seize our own use, these pasture lands of God. Oh my God, blow them away like a whirling dust, like chaff before the wind. As a fire roars through a forest, and a flame sets a mountain ablaze, chase them with your fierce storms, terrify them with your tempests, utterly disgrace them until they submit to your name, O Lord. Let them be ashamed and terrified forever. Make them failures in everything they do until they learn that you alone are called Lord, that you alone are the Most High, supreme over all the earth. Psalms 83. Till tomorrow, my lovely people, before my phone dies.